Hello, and welcome to Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster. Yeah, Final Fantasy V's got a freaking intro. First game in the series to have an intro like this. Which, yeah, Square was really starting to lean into the technology of the Super Nintendo, technology available on the expanded Super Nintendo cartridge at the time. Also, as always, phenomenal music. Yeah, this is one of those things that right off the bat just sets the game apart from its predecessors. Anyway, so Final Fantasy V. It was originally released in 1992 on the Super Famicom in Japan. 5 years after the release of the original game, interestingly enough. It wouldn't see a North American release until 1999, when it was released on PlayStation as part of a collection with 4 and 6. There was also a Game Boy Advance release in 2006, which was much better received. The PlayStation version was not well received. It was, by all accounts, a broken, badly translated mess of a localization. The Game Boy Advance release was definitely much better received. So, once again, the game's main director was Hironobu Sakaguchi, who had actually just gotten a promotion to vice president of Square, which means that he was worried about not having enough. He was worried about how that would affect his work on future games, whether his executive duties would take him away from the development, and having, based on the success of having a writing collaborator on 4, he wanted a collaborator on 5 as well. He ended up bringing in Yoshinori Kitase as co-writer and as a protege. Kitase was sort of a protege for Sakaguchi. Funnily enough, Kitase actually went to school for film production. Quit. And he was actually working at an animation studio, which he quit after he became obsessed with video games. Then he discovered by by chance that Square was hiring. He had absolutely no experience with programming or anything like that. He sent them, as a demo, he sent them a video he'd made in college, which he is very lucky that Sakaguchi was intrigued. So yeah, Sakaguchi actually brought him in, and the two worked pretty well together. Aside from Sakaguchi, we've also got Hiroyuki Ito, who designed the ATB. Yoshitaka Amano is back as concept art. Nobuo Uematsu is back for music. Kazuko Shibuya returns for the sprite designs. And this one we get another new artist. Tetsuda Nomura did the monsters designs. And probably a few other things. And there are plenty of other people involved as well. Shibuya wasn't even the only sprite animator. There were a bunch of other people involved. But, yeah, those are sort of the main names. Some of the returning names. Those are some of the returning names, and one of the big new names is Nomura, who would become pretty associated with the series himself. One thing that's actually kind of funny about this game. The Japanese government actually asked Square not to release it on a school day so that kids wouldn't skip school to wait in line for it. Lines for the release of the game were massive. There were massive lines for it. Sales were huge at the time of release. That said, as I mentioned, it would only be 1999 before it released in North America, which does lead to something else very, very interesting. There had been plans for an English localization, which got repeatedly canceled due to various factors. The thing is, remember, this was the 90s. This is the rise of the internet. By the mid-90s, the internet was becoming pretty commonplace. Nowhere near as big as it is today, but it was becoming pretty commonplace by the mid-90s. Which meant that online communities were starting to form. And that included fan translation communities. Final Fantasy V was not the first game to receive a fan translation. It is arguably the most prominent, the most notable. It is arguably the most notable fan translation. You know, there's only a couple other fan translations that one could argue as being as important. Final Fantasy was the first major fan translation project. And is an interesting story in itself. There had been a couple of false start fan translations. And then there was a particularly major project begun by a 14-year-old kid by the name of Derek Sobodash, who used the screen name of Shadow D, or just Shadow. Interesting fact about him, he once used a keylogger to access his high school administrator's login information, and then sent the Anarchist Cookbook to every email address in the school from the admin account. He claims it was an accident. I'm not so sure. Anyway, so that's the kind of kid he was. 14 and he decided, hey, you know what, I can translate this game. And he brought in more people, as he started spreading word about what he was doing, more people joined him. RPGE, I think, was the name of the community. One of the people who joined him was a young woman, teenage girl, by the name of Miria. She realized that there was a problem with the approach being taken, specifically that Chinese characters and English characters are different widths. So any translation project would need to take that into account. Nobody wanted to listen to her. She reached out to a guy by the name of Psalm 2, who had been part of an earlier project and who in fact had provided Shadow a lot of the information that a lot of the resources that Shadow had been using to start his project. So Miria and Psalm 2 began their own translation project. Miria then brought in a guy by the name of Harmony 7 to edit the script. So yeah, Miria was working on the coding side, Psalm 2 on the script translation side, Harmony 7 was brought in because he was more familiar with Japanese. He was, I think, Japanese American, I think, or Japanese maybe. Anyway, he knew Japanese. Psalm 2 got a little bit pissy about this and quit the project. So it was left to these two people, Miria and Harmony 7, to do full translation project, which a bunch of other people had failed at, and which groups of people had been failing at. And these two high school students are like, yeah, we can do it. We can do it a little bit, a little bit over over summer break and a little bit into the next year of high school, but mostly over summer break. At one point, a group by the name of Society's Hell published a beta version and passed it off as their own work. Miria and Harmony released what they had. They weren't finished yet. They were pretty close to being done. They just had a little bit left to do. So they released their own. Like, they released what they had to prove that they were the ones who did it. And then in June of 1998, the final version of the Final Fantasy V fan translation was released. A few months after that, Square released their official translation, which everyone agreed was worse than the fan translation. Genuinely, the fan translation was better. Like, objectively, it was just massively better than what PlayStation had, than what Square themselves actually did. Which is really bad for a major game developer to do a shittier job than a couple of literal high school students. A pair of actual high school students. That's the short version of the fan translation. The whole story is actually, like, really interesting. It is actually a really interesting story if you want to read up on the whole thing yourself. It's definitely worth looking into because it's lots of egos and screw-ups and lies and cheap lies. It was drama. There was drama. Anyway. First, like I said, not the first fan translation, but Final Fantasy, it was a huge game. You know, a huge franchise. Even though only 2 Final Fantasies had been released in North America, people actually were aware that there were other Final Fantasy games, especially because during this time, Final Fantasy VII got released in North America. Which was the first time that most Western audiences found out, wait, there were other Final Fantasy games? What happened to 4, 5, and 6? So, yeah, major franchise, and the fact that, you know, it was a very ambitious undertaking. Other fan translations tend to be, you know, smaller games, smaller scripts, and also not very good. This was a hugely popular game, like, you know, hugely popular franchise, major game, a lot to translate, a lot of script to translate, and, you know, it really redefined the fan translation process and community. So, in Japan, Final Fantasy V is not just one of the best recognized in the franchise, but one of the most popular RPGs. one of the most critically acclaimed RPGs over there. In Western, over in the West, for a long time, it was actually much more notable for the fan translation. For, like, what that fan translation represented. And, it is still a huge achievement for the fan community. So there's going to be a lot to get into as we go through the game. There is some major... there was a lot of fairly major developments about the game. It did introduce a fair number of new things. One last thing before I get started, though. Actually, two things before I get started. Ted Woolsey, who would become Square's in-house localizer for Final Fantasy, he was actually really disappointed that the Super Nintendo localization never happened. He translated most of it. He'd actually translated most of the game before that localization got canceled. And he has expressed that as one of his biggest regrets that one never got released. Because he said that it was the game that really got him into this type of RPG. He just really loved it. So he was really disappointed that it didn't get the Super Nintendo localization. And there is one other thing I'd like to mention. This was the first Final Fantasy game to get a sequel. Sort of. There was no sequel game. There was an anime sequel made in 1994. It was made by Madhouse. The animation studio Madhouse. It was released in North America as Final Fantasy Legend of the Crystals. Japan, I think it was just Final Fantasy. As far as Madhouse goes, they were pretty notable. They were founded in 1972. They worked on things like Wicked City, Ninja Scroll, Vampire Hunter D, Bloodlust, Trigun, Wolf Children, Death Note, Black Lagoon, Paprika, the first season of One Punch Man. Honestly, they have one hell of a list of things they've worked on. Madhouse is definitely a great studio. They've done a lot of, Madhouse has done a lot of great stuff. And they do continue to be pretty well-known and well-respected. Alright. So, with all that said, let's get into the actual game. And again, right off the bat, some gorgeous music. Uematsu rarely missed. There we go. Took kind of a weirdly long way for that time for that to start. Dragon! Ooh. Father! Do you really have to go?
You know I do, dear. I need you to protect the castle. Under no circumstances are you to follow me. Do you understand?
But, Father!
Something is wrong with the wind. I must go to the wind shrine to make certain nothing's happened to the crystal.
Yes, I've noted it as well.
Oh, Lena, don't worry. I'll be fine. Have faith.
I missed whatever she said. Goes by a little faster than I would like. And already you're actually seeing something, sprites are a lot more animated and expressive. Yeah, Lennon nodded. None of, like, the first 4 Final Fantasy games didn't have sprites that could nod their heads. Pirates. Yo ho ho, it's a pirate's life for me. The wind just stopped.
I've got to hurry!
The wind stopped. Father!
What in blazes?
And yeah, we're back to crystals. More crystal shenanigans. Well, that can't be good. That seems like it might be bad. Chocobo! Chocobo! Pixel Remaster really upped the graphics on this particular shot. Tries to stay true to the original. It's just a little bit of an upgrade for it. But yeah. I like the Chocobo just kicking dirt on the fire to put it out. That was actually a pretty cute touch. And yay, they... Alright, now, where do I go? I mean, there's just so many options. Oh, actually, there's... So, up here seems doubtful. Tycoon Meteorite. Yes, we are in the kingdom of Tycoon.
Boko, wait here, okay?
Come
Come on, Boko, let's go.
Or not. Something I want to check quickly. First of all, default speed, run. Battle mode, wait, yes! Speed, normal, sure. And as always, you can go with the classic graphic display. I don't think I ever actually showed what the what it looks like on the main screen. So yeah, this is fairly close to what the game originally looked like. Good song. It's got a nice sort of adventure spirit. And boost as always. Uh-oh. Ooh, exciting danger battle music. Might as well just... Yeah, so that fight's... this is just a breather fight. This is just an intro fight. I don't even get to see what that thing is. 20 gil, 6 experience. APB, we'll find out more about that in a minute. We'll find out more about that later. Hey, are you alright? Yes, I believe so. I give you my thanks. My name is Elena. And you are? Ooh, this is pretty. Lena's theme, I believe. This is pretty. Me? Alright. So here's something I should mention. The fan translation gave him the name of Butz. B-U-T-Z. Which is not actually an accurate translation of his name. Butsu, B-U-T-T-S-U, I think, is how it's spelled in, or is the Japanese version of it, Butsu. So Butz. Because the fan translation was the main way to play it for a good few years, a lot of Western players still actually kind of think of him as Butz. The official translation that has been used has been Bartz. So that is how most players now think of him. You know, people who grew up on the fan translation often still think of him as Butz. People who played the GBA version or any of the re-releases since then, Bartz. And that is the name I will be using. Call me Bart. Me and my chocobo just go wherever the trail leads us. Bart. This rock suddenly fell from the sky. The impact must have knocked me out. If that's all it... You're lucky that that's all it did. Guess it's a meteorite. A meteorite? I wonder if it has a connection to the wind stopping. Again, I give you my thanks. I wish I could do something more to show my appreciation, but I really must go. Whoa! Hey, hold up a sec. Bert, did you hear something? Huh? Ooh. Ugh. Over there! Before we do that... Where was it? Yeah, so unfortunately the hidden paths don't light up this time. And right off the bat we got a Phoenix down! Right off the bat! Yeah, unfortunately, hidden paths don't light up when you're going through them. At least not yet. There will be a way to get them to light up later, but for now. Oh. Hi. Are you alright? I mean, he's lying right beside a meteor. How alright can he be?
Where am I? Oh, my aching head. Sakes alive! What's happened? I don't remember. Eh? I can't remember anything.
Looks like you hit your head pretty bad. Maybe you got amnesia.
Oh! Something came back to me. My name is Galth.
Yeah, the use of the little punctuation bubbles, that's definitely a pretty major thing in this game. That's a start. Anything else?
Nope, just the name. Other than that, my memory's completely blank.
I'm very sorry, but you must excuse me. I have no time to waste. Where are you going? I must go to the Wind Shrine. And see, like I was saying, the sprites are vastly more expressive in this game, which allows for the storytelling to be subtler in a way. They can rely on the sprites to convey some of the mood, to convey more of what's going on.
The Wind Shrine! Now that you mention it, I'm pretty sure that's where I was headed. It's decided, I'm going with you.
But, I mean, you may as well accept the help.
I've got to get to that shrine. I feel it in my bones. You've got to take me with.
I mean, more the merrier, right? Bart, what about you? Sorry, I'm gonna bow out on this one. Good luck, though. Bart, thank you again. Farewell.
Godspeed and all that whatnot.
Alright, and that'll be the last we see of those two. We're not going to be seeing them again. Come on, Boko, let's go. Yeah, we've already been up here, but hey, we're checking it out again. Rude? Ow! Boko! Bad Chocobo! What are you doing stopping like that? Now don't you give me that look. Quit! Yeah, I know. The girl and the old man went off together. With all the goblins around these parts. Fine, I got it. Ah! Yeah! Well, that didn't take long for us to see them again. Boko, come on! Quit! There's no point in not using auto battle here. There's literally nothing we can actually do. Alright, level it up! Hurrah! HP up by 10, MP up by 3, which we don't have any spells yet. As I mentioned, yeah. Jobs are back. As for abilities, you may have noticed that it didn't even show any of the other stats there. As always, I mean, same as usual: strength, how hard you hit, agility, your speed, whether you're, how likely you are to, your position in battle order, how fast your ATB builds, ATB, I should say, how fast your ATB builds, whether you can dodge attacks, whether you can flee from battles, stamina, how tough you are, magic, how strong your magic is, attack, how hard you hit, defense, how much damage you can take, magic defense, how much magic damage you can take, evasion, your odds of dodging. Same as usual. More about APB and jobs and abilities later. Nice jump. Those are speedy little goblins. Hey, I think I just did more damage that time. Yeah, I'm doing more damage. I mean, Boko carried 3 people at once. That's impressive for such a little bird. Oh. Good morning. Bart! It seems I can't escape being in your debt. Use it well. Hey, don't worry about it. Seems like the meteorite's impact caused a few landslides. The road's covered in rubble. I don't think you're going to be able to make it to Tool this way. But if I can't get to the Wind Shrine, then... Ugh. Wind Shrine. Gotta hurry. The old guy's pretty dead set on getting there, too. Alright, I'll go with you and personally see to it that you get there safely. Oh, really? Yeah. You know, my dad always wanted me to go out and travel the world. And it also feels like the wind is calling me. What a sweet talker. As if you don't just have the hots for the little lady. Both things can be true, Galuf. 2 things can be true at the same time. Rude. What? You're awake? Don't sound so surprised. This old dog is always ready for anything. A little bit of stretching it does. Still, if the road's blocked, that makes things a sight more difficult. I won't give up. There must be a way to reach the Wind Shrine. I will say, this game actually does a really good job with the characters. Like, right off the bat, Lena is more interesting than, like, all of the female characters in 4 combined, frankly.
Right, and we'll find it.
Alright, let's ride. Anyway, Boko's cute. Take the first step. Save Lena and Galuf. And joined their party. Hurrah. I'm curious about something. It does say what it was we fought. Okay. It does say that it's goblins. Yeah. They can drop leather caps, but they don't. Stealing, obviously stealing back. As a mechanic. Right, so for the most part, their stats are actually all pretty similar. 25, 26, 25, 28. 27, 24, 28, 24. 28, 25, 27, 25, so. Arts is, highest strength. Galuf has the highest stamina. Lena currently has the highest agility. And also has the highest magic. So, each character who joins the party will have one of the 4 stats that they excel at. But, it's a difference of anywhere, 1 to 4 points. It's not a huge spread. And sadly, knife and nothing. So, their base equipment stuck. So he at least has the broadsword, but other than that, yeah, Lena and Galuf aren't going to be doing much damage. And with that, we still don't really know anything. Like, there's almost nothing that we actually know so far. But hey, we have begun. And next time, we will actually start getting into gameplay proper. This one, we just, 3 goblin fights. So nothing, we haven't really done much so far. But next time, we will actually get into the game properly. But for now, thanks for watching. And I will see you next time.